Hello everyone, and welcome to probably the last Defenders of Equestria spoiler talk before the entire set's released. Without further ado, I'm going to get onto the new mechanics that have been revealed fully now, and talk about cards that have had them on previously, and then I'll just get on with all the new cards. So, Discord Captain Woods was the spoiler that showed us what Experienced is. In summary, for each other copy of this specific card in your discard, the card that you've played gets +1 power. So let's go through the card fully. Discord Captain Woods is a 2-for-2 with 0 requirement in white with Experienced and Main Phase. Retire this card to put a Troublemaker from your discard pile into your hand. So it's good to see more Troublemaker recursion and cards that make use of Troublemakers, so that these mains that want Troublemakers can really make good use of them. I hope this card is common, but I could very easily see it being uncommon considering the version we have is just a promo. And I'd say if you are in the colours and you have this card, run it. If you're not in the colours but you use Troublemakers, I'd say it's an easily runnable card anyway, as if it was colourless. After that there's Zephyr Breeze. Now as a 2-for-4, if you have one of him, he's a bit fragile and the 3 requirement could be a bit awkward, especially if it's on your second colour. So he's kind of, I'd say avoid him, but if you get multiple copies is when he sort of escalates to completely ridiculous levels, where you're playing a 2-for-4, then the next turn you're playing a 2-for-5, and the turn after that you play a 2-for-6 and just confront a problem on its own just with the 2 action tokens. Seems like he could be really powerful if you have enough copies of him. Hoping he's common, can't find out what his rarity is yet. The spoiler was blank. So the reveal of Redeem came with a Discord. Seems kind of like a theme, eh? Discord reveals the mechanics. Whatever. So, Redeem is when you play the card, you may reduce its cost by 3 by retiring a Troublemaker or friend of the same title. So, keeping that in mind, let's just go over the Discord that was shown to us. A 7 cost, 4 power, 4 requirement friend with Redeem, so it can cost 4, and Hasty. When you play this card, dismiss an opposing friend and each other opposing friend with the same name. This effect is pretty crazy, but if you can't play this card for like 4 action tokens and you have to pay the 7, you're probably not going to be able to do it in Limited, unfortunately. This card has got a very sort of constructed vibe to it, the fact that it destroys token armies, takes out certain things like, say, oh, have you played 2 cover-to-covers? Bam, they're just gone. Feels very much more like it was a scalpel designed for Constructed than something that was put a lot of thought into how it plays in Limited. I'd still say it's playable if you have a few copies of Discord Friends, because 7 cost is just huge. But yeah, still pretty good. I hope that Redeem isn't just on Ultra Rare Friends. Starlight Glimmer, on the other hand, the 8 cost one that then can obviously cost 5, so it beats the vanilla test. It's a tough call. Like, in Limited, playing the friends for free is going to be nice, but it's not going to save you that much action tokens that investing 8 or 5 into her initially, especially if it was 8, is going to be that great. It's a tough call, but once again it feels like a thing that you can kind of build around in Constructed rather than a thing for Limited. So, the first dilemma of the set. Buckball Championships. 2 cost, 3 blue requirement, flips for 5, 4 on each side. When this problem is solved, score a point. I think this card's really good, especially in pre-release, because just seeing the amount of stuff that wants Troublemaker control and maybe Lockdown to be a thing, and just being able to play this and confront it pretty darn easily, only 1 power more than your main, it's going to be really useful. The fact that you can just play it when you're going to do a double face-off anyway and just earn that extra point seems really nice and like it could win games. So overall, good card. Isn't going to really replace Tyric's Reign of Terror, but I don't think that's what it was designed for. Power Loyal Henchpony is a 3-for-3 with 3 requirement in orange that says when one of your Troublemakers would be dismissed, you may exhaust this card to turn it face down instead. This card can't be frightened. So here's yet another utility Troublemaker Lockdown-esque card that's going to be really useful in Limited if you're building that kind of deck. If you're not, a 3-for-3 that can't be frightened is not bad, but the 3 requirement makes it awkward and kinda iffy. Trixie's Equestrian Apology Tour is a 1 cost, 2 white requirement resource that flips for 3. You play it to your home, and at the end of each opponent's turn, if no problems were confronted this turn, you may distribute 2 +1 power counters on up to 2 of your friends. Now this is a very simple reward for playing Control in the limited formats. So when you're playing, say, with the new Rarity, with the new Twilight, and you just want something to give you inevitability because you just create friends that are ginormous, meaning that you can easily double confront, this is the card for it. Yes, they can kind of remove what you make with it because they can take out the friend, but at the end of the day, it gives you a big sense of inevitability, and it's only common. You can't expect it to be unstoppable. So I like it a lot. It's a real good reward for playing those control decks. Quibblepants Non-Believer is a 2-cost, 2 blue and purple requirement, 2 power friend with Meticulous 1. During your main phase, you may exhaust him to put a Troublemaker into play face up. He seems good. Once again, another card that's there for the Troublemaker synergy. Seriously, is this pre-release just going to be Troublemaker lockdown the games, and it's going to last 4 hours to do one game? No, of course not. It's going to be designed to be fairly balanced, but everything other than like yellow and blue is getting a load of controlling things. This guy just sort of adding to the mix while being both blue and purple. He's definitely a playable card if you're already in the colours. He doesn't really force you into those colours, although you may splash him because there isn't too bad of requirement givers in this set by the seams of it. That main phase ability can easily save you a game, so definitely good include. Sunburst Royal Foal-Sitter is a 2 for 3 with 1 purple, 1 yellow requirement. Calming 2 and Immediate. Exhaust this card to gain 1 action token. When an opponent confronts this card's problem, that opponent loses 1 action token. Now this guy's got a lot of words stuck all over him, and he's basically a quote-unquote 2 for 2, which obviously the instant comparison with this card is Factory Organizer. And as we all know, Factory Organizer is a bit too pushed, honestly. This guy seems like a much more balanced form of the card, because it acts like a 2 for 2, because you can obviously play him and get the action token. And the other 2 bits of wording will be relevant, but not amazing. I still say that if you get this card, you should play it, because all action token acceleration is insanely relevant in Limited, and this card, yes, could even make you want to play purple-yellow, because as I said, all action token acceleration is relevant. There's a reason why Castle of Friendship was completely nuts in Magic pre-releases. It's a very good card. That extra stealing of the action token, well, I say stealing, they just get rid of it. Seems like it could be relevant every now and again, and say if you steal 2 action tokens from your opponent in an entire game, definitely worth running this card. He's good, really pushed, but not as insane as the Sweetie Belle. Join the Herd is a 2-cost event that flips for 5. Immediate. Choose a colour, one of your characters has +2 power and that colour until end of turn. So this is a variant of Makeover that costs 1 more, but because of it you get +2 power, which is a really good bit of utility. This card is kind of, unless you really don't need the requirement, I would run it almost every time. 5 is a high flip, paying 2 action tokens to instantaneously give one of your friends +2 power, maybe to say help win a face-off, beat a Troublemaker, anything like that. Seems like it'll be really useful. I really like the card's design, it's a nice requirement giver. It's a good card. Not much else to say. Infiltrating the Hive. It is a starting problem with 1 bonus. 5 on your side, 6 on theirs. Main phase. Pay 2 and discard 2 cards to choose a colour and put a 2-power colourless changeling friend token with that colour into play. Now this is really simplistic, good. I can play Kevin from the start of the game no matter what. Pay 2, discard what would be a Kevin and an extra card, get a good old quote-unquote Kevin token. It's really good. I'd say it's easily playable in Limited if you're worried about entry, and it lets you splash those extra colours quite easily, especially if you've got multiple copies and you end up putting them in your problem deck. I'd say this is easily runnable every time. 5 and 6 are just fine numbers. It's a real good card. And that is all the spoilers I have for today. What do you guys think of them all? I am super excited for the pre-release in I don't know how long actually. I'm in the UK. We never have really got a confirmed date. But I'm definitely hyped for it when it finally gets to me. It's going to be loads of fun. I'm going to have lots of content. It's going to be great. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. So, if you've been looking at the update video's description, you'll know that I have confirmed pre-release, but I don't have a date for it yet, which is really good. But on a side note, because this is the point where I update, right? I'm having issues with my laptop charging again. Hopefully, I can nip it in the bud this weekend, and by the time this has gone live, it will have been sorted. But if not, I will have to hurry quite a lot to make sure that I have a new laptop in time for when the set comes out so I can make all the videos I want to make. So yeah, keep your eyes on my social medias. I'll be connected there, keeping people informed.